Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are talking about the Sega Game Gear today. An excellent, excellent handheld from back in the day. Great handheld, great games, had a lot of great technology in it, not a lot of battery conservation.
Like a lot of battery, like ridiculous amounts of batteries.
How many fit in this bad boy?
It takes 6 per go, and those 6 batteries.
3 on each side. That's what.
Yeah, those 6 batteries last approximately 4 hours or so.
Yeah, which isn't bad if you're only using it once a month. So if you missed our previous episodes and stuff, we've been talking about kind of growing up with each of the consoles. Mm-hmm. And then once we kind of finished all the consoles, we were like, hey, let's swing into handhelds. So last episode was the first of the handhelds one, and we talked about growing up with the old Game Boy.
The Game Boy.
Which was awesome. And now we want to talk about growing up with my favorite handheld, the Game Gear.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's my favorite handheld. It was my favorite handheld when I was a kid. Like the Game Boy, I would like borrow from friends, like my buddy Paul. But the Game Gear,
that was yours.
This was mine. Well, it was my cousin's, and then he gave it to me, but I owned it.
That's my Game Gear right there on display.
Hell yeah.
In the back counter there. I do still have it. I haven't put batteries in it. It just went onto the shelf because I was like, I don't really know if I want to fire this up. But I do have some games for it.
You got some good games too.
I've got good games. Yeah, I've got Sonic 2, Shinobi 2. I had NBA Jam, but I don't believe I have it anymore. Yeah. And
this
I had a couple other games. We had the Tasmania game.
Oh, that was a good one on the Game Gear. Sonic 2 kind of sucked on the Game Gear, to be honest.
Sonic 2,
it was like fucking hard.
It was very difficult. Yeah. The game, it was fun to play, but it was really hard to get past stage 1. Stage 2, if you were like really
it was
you always had to find the emeralds so that you could just supersonic through the level.
Yeah.
Right.
The best Sonic game on the Game Gear though, Sonic Chaos by far.
That one was really good.
Really good. That's one of my favorite Game Gear games of all time. Yeah. That's what it was in my Game Gear when I grabbed the Game Gear. So I have it over here.
It had a pretty decent library.
Yeah.
I would say it was the only real competition to the Game Boy at this point in time. Like we're talking 1990, 1991, Japan 1990, North America 1991. And they retired it out in 1997.
Holy
so I mean
shit,
that's a pretty good run.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good run.
That's really good for back then, because like you didn't get 10. Like now it's like a 10-year console lifespan usually, and that was like PlayStation started that, right? Like before that, it was not that long really. So that's pretty good for back
absolutely.
Then,
and the Game Gear is on. A lot of people would think. With it being Sega, with it being because they were boasting like the color,
backlit screen,
the Game Gear from a power perspective is on par with the Master System.
Yeah, so in fact, it basically is just a small Master System.
You could get a adapter that would allow you to use your Game Gear to play Master System games, which was super cool. So,
do you know if they'd made one the other way around?
Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I mean, it would make sense, but I mean, and that would be why Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Game Gear
is the
same as Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Master System. It was essentially a port.
But you're missing a bit of the screen. There's a bit of screen.
The screen down a little bit there. No big deal. You don't need to see the whole screen.
You don't need to see where you're landing when you jump.
Sonic's not a game that you need to know where you're going to go from screen to screen.
It's not like you're going fast or anything.
No, nothing like that. Absolutely. So, but yeah, differences to the Game Boy. The Game Boy was boring grayscale.
Yeah.
And the Game Gear was
green
super
scale,
cool.
Basically. The original.
Yeah, super cool color backlit. So if you were playing this
way ahead of its time
in the back of the car while mom and dad were driving, you could actually see the game, and your mom and dad would get really mad at you because it was bright, and your dad would
couldn't see the road if it was nighttime.
They couldn't see the road. That's right.
But that's not important.
No. Just like Sonic, we don't need to see where we're going.
Oh, that's perfect. But yeah, like, so my first, I guess the way we usually do this is like your first memories with it. So for me, my first memory was actually, oh, kind of smashed the microphone there. My first memory was honestly, it was like my great grandpa's funeral, and my cousin, because like whenever there's like a funeral, all your family and stuff is down, and my cousin came down, and they were kind of staying not at our house, but at a house kind of like another family member's house, and we were all over there. And he had a Game Gear, and I was like, holy crap. Because I hadn't even, at this point, I had not played a Game Boy yet either.
Right.
This was the first handheld game console other than those like real crappy Tiger Electronics ones that I had actually like seen. And he had Sonic Chaos, which is what I got here. And he had, what else did he have? Oh, the Power Rangers game. And it's like a beat 'em up, not a beat 'em up. It's like a tournament fighter style game. Dude, I loved that game so much. I don't remember anything about my great grandpa's funeral other than playing Power Rangers on the Game Gear. And
exactly what great grandpa would want you to.
That's what he would have wanted, man. That's what he would have wanted. And I just remember hanging out in somebody's bedroom playing Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Game Gear. And I have that game now on the Genesis, and it's like literally the Game Gear is just the Game Gear is an upgraded version of the Genesis game, which is super weird.
Kidding.
Yeah. You can do like new moves. There's like more moves you can do, and there's more levels, I think. But yeah, it's basically the same game, but it's just a little bit better on the Game Gear. But I played the crap out of that. I thought it was so cool because you would fight whoever the big bad is, and then so like you know how tournament fighters like Street Fighter, you have round 1, you beat them, and then in round 2 you fight again. So round 1, if you beat them in round 1, round 2 they would be giant form, and you'd be either in the Megazord or the Dragon Zord, depending on depending on what character you played as. So that was super cool. And then I remember the last level, you're actually like fight on the moon, and you can see like Rita's like castle in the background, and yeah, it was just so cool. And like Power Rangers, like I love Power Rangers now. I loved it even more when I was a kid. Like it was like the best thing ever, right? So yeah, it was awesome. And then so he saw me. I was playing that all day, and then my cousin was like, "Well, why don't you just borrow my Game Gear?" And he gave me that, and he gave me, I don't know if he gave me NBA Jam or if I think I picked that up later, because that's the only Game Gear game where I still have the box is NBA Jam.
Okay. Yep.
He gave me that and Sonic Chaos, and he never asked for it back. So I don't know. It's my Game Gear.
This is yours now. Enjoy this.
Yeah, and then I know I ended up with NBA Jam. I absolutely loved NBA Jam on the Genesis. That was like one of my favorite Genesis games when I was a kid.
Sure.
And then Streets of Rage. I remember picking Streets of Rage up because I got that on the Genesis as well. And Streets of Rage on it is pretty like bare bones. Like it definitely looks like a Master System version of what you'd imagine a Master System version of Streets of Rage. But there is a Streets of Rage 2 on the Game Gear, and it's actually really good. Graphically, it's comparable to Streets of Rage 1, and then you've got like your special moves from Streets of Rage 2. Like there's a lot of really good Game Gear games. One of which being
a good library.
Shinobi 2. That game's so
Shinobi 2.
good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What were your kind of like your first time playing the Game Gear or seeing the Game Gear even before you played it, maybe?
So I didn't even know the Game Gear was a thing at all. My dad got it for me and my younger brother for Christmas. And I don't know if you're familiar with the movie A Christmas Story, but in the Christmas Story, they do this thing where after all the presents are opened, the dad's like, "Oh, what's that over there?" And what they did was they wrapped up the Game Gear, and it's like the pack, and stuffed it under the couch. And so we opened up all our presents. When we were done opening presents, Dad was like, "What's that?" We pulled it out, this giant present, and there's the Game Gear. And so it was like a combo pack, because it was the Game Gear, the AC adapter,
nice,
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Tailspin, all in one pack kind of thing.
Okay.
So we got to open that up.
AC adapter pretty much mandatory for this.
Mandatory. Yeah, we got our money's worth with the AC adapter. And then so we started playing it, and it was a ton of fun. And your cousin whose grandpa lived across the street from me, also had a Game Gear, and that's how I started learning about other games, because I would hang out with your cousin.
Okay.
And then I would learn about the games that they're playing, and then I was.
He had RoboCop, one of the RoboCop games on Game Gear. I remember. Playing that.
I don't know if I remember RoboCop so much, but
it wasn't like great, but I remember I thought it was cool because like RoboCop was pretty new at that time.
For sure. And so the games that I remember having on the Game Gear, so Sonic 2 and Tailspin, like I said, they came with. Tailspin was fun, but that one was super hard as well.
Was it? Never played that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shinobi 2 ended up picking up. Mortal Kombat 2 we had as well, which very difficult and not super fun to play.
Dude, Mortal Kombat 2 is like super hard, even on like the Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's a really hard
difficult game. Yeah. And so in the Game Gear, though, it had a reduced roster. There was you could only play so many characters.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. So it was like all of that kind of thing. So you ever see like a small handful of games?
You ever see like the shitty they got a version of Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy, and it's just absolute dog shit.
If I've ever seen that.
Yeah, you'll after we're done recording, you'll have to watch a video.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, they tried to put Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy.
No kidding.
Holy fuck.
I mean, anything to make some money, I guess.
Because Mortal Kombat was huge at that time.
Yeah. I know they released a Outrun on the Game Gear. Did you ever play that? Because I know you're huge into Outrun.
I don't know that I did, because like a lot of Game Gear games were also released on the Master System, and it was, like I said, it's the same game but like with a bigger screen. And so like when it came to like years later, when I would get into like emulation, instead of emulating the Game Gear version, if there was a Master System version, I would always play that one.
Right, because then you don't have to worry about the low resolution.
I can't remember if it was because there was like an Outrun Europe, like there was a ton of Outrun games on the Master System, so I don't know which ones actually were on the Game Gear. It might have been like Europe or something.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through a list of like Game Gear games that's here, and Outrun's on that list.
Is it just vanilla? It's just called Outrun?
It looks like just Outrun.
Oh, okay. I've played Outrun on the Master System. I really like Outrun actually on the Master System, so it's probably the same.
I also see on this list Dynamite Headdy, Rystar, Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah, Gunstar Heroes was on there, yeah.
Right?
Rystar was it wasn't as good on the Game Gear. It was still fun. Well, I mean, I guess it's still a good game, but
it makes sense as well, right? So the number one game on this list, Land of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. There was a lot of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck games, like the Disney character games
back then
on the Game Gear
and the Genesis. There's a lot on the Genesis.
Lots. And the one that was on the Genesis was a lot of fun too. I don't have very good memory of it, but I remember like Mickey like being a firefighter in a firefighter costume.
I do remember that.
Yeah. That one was a lot of fun. I remember playing that one quite a bit. But I mean, Game Gear was a solid system. The one thing that I liked about the Game Gear more than I liked about the Game Boy was that you held it landscape.
Yes, it felt nice. Way.
Yeah, the Game Boy was like after a while it hurts the palm of your hand.
Yes.
Like the corners dig into your palms. And so with the Game Gear, it felt ergonomic, and it reminded me of like the way that the back of it to a like a Genesis controller.
Yeah, it had the same kind of feel.
Grooving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like finger grooves here.
Yeah, they really thought that out.
The D-pad on it, I really kind of like too. Like it's
the floating circle, isn't it?
Yeah, you can push it in, and it's similar it's similar, I guess, kind of to the Saturn, but it's instead of coming out, it's like dented in, kind of. Yeah. It's kind of, I think it's what the like Xbox 360 was trying to do with its D-pad.
It's what they're trying to emulate with the paddle, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is that the buttons, the A and B or the 1 and 2 buttons, I can't remember what they call it on there.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
But they're heavy to push. they're not like light buttons like they are on the controllers. There's a good amount of push before you get.
Yeah, they're like well, they look like it, but like really, I don't know if I can. There's not a lot of movement, but they do stick out a lot, and they're very like wobbly. Like I don't know if. I don't know if you can see that, but they're pretty wobbly.
Got a little wobble.
But this is a well-used Game Gear, so I don't know. Like maybe
it's been through it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a well-used freaking Game Gear, man. This is just like, dude. I remember when my cousin let me borrow it. We'll have it. I was so stoked, man. It was like back then. It didn't matter if it was like a handheld versus a console. If you got a new system, be it
gaming,
you'd be like, you'd have your Genesis right there, and you'd be like, no, I'm playing that on the Game Gear. Even though like it was like way better on the Genesis. But
it was, and I mean, and the games were good too, right? Like I know we kind of mentioned it, but the library for the Game Gear was actually
it was really good. There were a lot of really good games on there.
Yeah, and especially when you compared it, it was funny because people would be like, "Oh, I got this for the Game Boy." It's like, yeah, but look at this on the Game Gear. Like it was
night and day.
It was a stark difference between the two of them, right?
And it's crazy because you said it came out in like 91.
That's what this says.
That's super impressive because like the GBA didn't even have backlighting. You know what I mean? Like the GBA had color, and the GBA looked like Super Nintendo games. Yeah. But it didn't even have backlighting until the GBA SP. So
so this says. It says releasing Japan October 6, 1990, and then North America and Europe for April 1991.
That's so
and then
impressive.
Australia 1992.
And then it's got like the little like it makes you wonder like if it would have had like link cable. Oh no, Sonic Drift 2 does. You can play Sonic Drift 2 co-op apparently. I've never done it, but
there was that. There was also a TV tuner that they released.
Right. I've never used that, but I do remember
pop that on the top there, and it would plug in. And then, like I said, it also had
because it had antennas on it. You could just pick up TV airwaves.
Yeah. So you basically plug that thing in the top, you pull the antenna up, and then you scroll through like a radio.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you try and find it. Yeah, I mean,
imagine laying in your bed. Like, imagine if I wish I would have had that as a kid. Just laying in bed watching TV on my Game Gear.
Yep,
that'd be sick.
It'd be something else, that's for sure. And then like I said, it did also have the adapter for Master System games. So
that's cool probably too. What also would have plugged into that extension thing.
And it's funny because at the end of the day, the Game Gear sold. I think it said it sold. Right here. 10.62 million units by March 1996, but it was unable to surpass the Game Boy because the Game Boy sold significantly more. Now, with that in mind, the Game Boy had what it had. It had Tetris, and I think Tetris was like the Game Boy system seller.
Yeah.
It even came as a pack-in at one point. But Pokemon on the Game Boy just shut the door on all the rest of these, right?
Yeah. Because it was kind of like the whole, and this to me is what kind of makes the N64 kind of crappy, and kind of what also is a big part of why the Dreamcast failed, is because they were playing to that like arcade one sit down play style games, and
Daytona.
Which is great, but I think around that time was when like you started getting like those like JRPGs and like games where you would like you had like a big world to explore and a big like multi-session games, you know what I mean? And Pokemon having that on the Game Boy, and then you ended up with like all the Dragon Quest games on the Game Boy, like that really set it apart. Whereas with this, you're gonna play Sonic, you're gonna play NBA Jam, which are great games, but you're gonna get a little bit more depth out of something like Dragon Quest and Pokemon.
There's a lot of like arcadey titles, adventure-y titles. You know, the Sonic world is in there.
Oh, there's a really good Mega Man game for the Game Gear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just called Mega Man, and it's like a cross between Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5, and it's like I prefer it over both Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5. Graphically, it's better because it's what a Mega Man game would have looked like on the Master System, essentially, right? So it's pretty damn good. The only downside to it is, you know how in Mega Man games you only have 2 shots on, or 3 shots on screen? On the Game Gear Mega Man, you can only have 2 shots on the screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because there's just not enough power.
It's a little bit. There's not enough power. You need power.
Yeah, Nintendo power.
There are games here with substance.
Oh yeah,
but
there was a Lunar
Same.
game on there as well, but I've never played it, and I finally got my hands on an English translated version of it, so I do want to play the Lunar game on there, like really bad.
I mean, and that's the thing. What I was going to say with the arcade titles, like, I mean, the thing with consoles and arcade titles is you need to have some arcade titles. You got to have games that you can just throw in, play, and then whatever, right, move on.
Yeah.
But you also have to have those games of substance, right? You have to have stuff that's going to keep you playing.
Oh yeah.
On the system, kind of.
Yeah,
thing,
because
right?
you can only like just keep playing the same 4 levels and dying like for so
you can
long.
only the same 3 tracks in Daytona, USA.
Yeah.
Before it's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I want to play something else now. Yeah.
That's why they were good in the arcade. You threw your quarter in, you played your game, and you moved on to the next game.
Exactly.
Right? When to own the game is a bit of a different story altogether, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there was a lot of Japanese exclusive Game Gear games that were super good.
Yeah.
That's where, like, I think Gunstar Heroes was a Japanese exclusive, not 100% sure. They had Coca-Cola Kid, which was a really fun game. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, there's a Panzer Dragoon game. I think it's just called Panzer Dragoon Mini or something like that. And it plays like a cross between Space Harrier and like Afterburner kind of, because you can like lock on your shots instead of just firing your shots. You can lock on and then fire, and then it does like the whole. Have you played Panzer Dragoon yet? I know you're just kind of getting into the Saturn.
Yeah, I fired it up a little bit. It's not like because it's a top-down shooter game, right? Like
it's kind of like no, it's kind of like Space Harrier, but 3-dimensional.
Oh yeah,
So you got guys coming here, and then it'll shift to like you're flying this way. You're flying still straight, but the camera's from the side. You're shooting this way. They actually still managed to pull that off in the Game Gear game too. So you're flying forward, shooting all these guys, and then all of a sudden like a boss will come in from the side, and the camera, your dragon will turn like sideways, and the camera will like pan over, and you're like fighting the boss while flying like that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I mean,
super
it's
impressive.
cool what they were able to do with such a limited, memory budget. What they had to program.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty cool. I am scrolling through another list here. I see that there was a Rastin saga.
Oh
Jump
yeah,
Slash Man.
Jump and Slash Man.
Over here.
There was there's like some really shitty Golden Axe JRPG on it that I like tried to get into because I was like, I like JRPGs. Golden Axe is fun, but it's not really that good.
And I was gonna say too, like there is a lot. Magic Knight Rayearth is
that's supposed to be good
as well, but it's all Japanese exclusives. And it's funny with Sega, they seem to have done that with a lot of their systems, right? Because Saturn had the exact same thing where there was a lot of really, really good games, but they were locked to Japan only.
Yeah, super weird.
I mean, I don't know. I know Sega's always got that kind of awful history of like bad communication between North America and Japan. But you think that the games that were super popular over there, they would have just transported them and been done with it. But
wasn't there? I think there was like there was like an Angry Video Game Nerd episode because like you know how they were all like those shitty Back to the Future games on the NES,
right? Yeah.
Apparently there was like a really good Back to the Future game. It was either on the Super Famicom or the Genesis over there.
No kidding.
And it was like really good, but it was only released in Japan. It's like Back to the Future. Why wouldn't you release that in North America?
I have no idea. That's really weird.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny because like a lot of times you would look at the portables, you would look at the handheld games and be like, that's a worse version of the game.
Yeah, and a lot of times you'd be right.
Most of the time, but every now and then you would get a copy on, like you said, like there's different games like Mega Man and stuff that were like, they were just better on the Game Gear.
Yeah.
Which is
Battletoads on the Game Boy I prefer over the NES game. Like it's just a better game.
It doesn't have the sewer
the turbo
turbo tunnel.
So it has its version of the turbo tunnel, but it's a lot more manageable. Like it's a lot more fair. It turns it, instead of like having to land on the ground and like do all the weird jumps and stuff, it's more like just like a side scroller kind of shoot 'em up stage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there is like the dodge the walls thing, but you can see them more in advance and plan it out, and it's a lot better in my opinion.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of scrolling through. There's so many games for the Game Gear. Like I didn't even scratch the top of the list.
I didn't know there was a Dynamite Heady game. I wonder what that performs like, because Gunstar Heroes on the Game Gear has a lot of slowdown, like
a little bit rough.
Yeah, pretty rough, and it gets rid of the that part right before the final boss area where you have to roll the dice and you do that little board game part. It takes that out of it. Yeah.
Oh, it took the Pachisi out.
Yeah,
that's too bad. Yeah, this one's got Gunstar Heroes as number 1, Streets of Rage as number 2. Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble. Did you ever do that?
Triple Trouble was pretty good. I like Chaos a little bit more.
Right.
But yeah.
Triple Trouble was and then good. A game called Sylvan Tale, but it was another
I never heard of that
only release. It says one of the best Game Gear games, period. And it sounds like it's trying to copy Legend of Zelda. So
it's one of those
concept. Yeah. Link to the Past, it sounds like equal to. So if you've ever tried Sylvan Tale, let us know.
Sounds cool AF, brother.
Yeah. The Game Gear was shuttered and then was replaced by the almighty Genesis Nomad.
Sega Nomad, yeah.
Sega Nomad, which was a colossal failure.
Well, it was just a portable Genesis. Like, you literally just put Genesis cartridges in it.
Yeah, except it didn't support any of the Genesis Megatron pieces.
Like the
Sega CD, the 32X, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Still uses 6 AA batteries. Still only lasts 4 hours. Came out in October 1995 and discontinued in 1999.
Still impressive,
North America only.
Don't think it really sold that much.
And it sold less than 1 million units.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, right? Because, I mean, having a portable
Genesis would be pretty sweet.
Pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
But the same way that the Game Gear was a portable Master System. The problem, though, is that the Nomad didn't... It just, like, the screen was small, the button layout wasn't great, and it wasn't fun to hold, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the best. Kind of unfortunate.
Dude, I have one of those. It's like an aftermarket. I should have brought it over here, but it plays NES games, like cartridges, and it's like a handheld. And it looks so stupid because the console itself is about this big. And the NES cartridge is like bigger than the console,
right?
So it's like sticking out.
Up.
Yeah,
that's
it's sticking
hilarious.
Out. And then the screen is like this big. And the worst part is they reversed the fucking A and B buttons.
Oh,
why?
No.
Why does everybody fuck that up?
I wonder if they did that because of like copyright or something.
Could be like patenting.
But I mean,
something.
like if you're literally got Nintendo cartridges in your system.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. It's just like ridiculous, but man,
Game Gear was fantastic.
Loved my Game Gear.
I'll tell you, our Game Gear got a lot of use. Like we played a lot of Game Gear. Anytime I wasn't playing the Game Gear, because I had to share with my little brother. So if I wasn't playing the Game Gear, I was playing Tetris on the Game Boy, right? And that was it. So great game.
And it's so crazy how ahead of the time it was, but
for 1991
it's a shame that they couldn't figure out a way to draw less battery. Did they make I don't know if this is a thing, did they make like a car lighter adapter?
Yep.
Okay,
there was a 12-volt
that
adapter.
would have been super handy, honestly.
So there was that there was also a battery pack that you could buy.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, and you
and it
load
went
it
on
with,
the
don't you
back
load
of
it with like C batteries or something?
Yeah, it was something like that. Like you loaded it right up, but it made the Game Gear like fat.
Yeah.
Right? Like you had to hold it like this, and then all of a sudden
Yes.
now it wasn't comfortable to hold
Because
anymore.
it had to go like across because of
It
how they have
basically-
their batteries on both
yeah,
sides.
basically connected into both paddles, and then it kind of made it the whole unit
Yeah,
just
dude.
big. So not
Not ideal.
the best idea.
Not ideal. Lots of good games. Shinobi 2, I just remember like you would like
That one was
rescue you could do the levels I think in any order, and then
Yeah,
you
it was
rescue
Mega Man style.
Yeah, and then you like rescue the ninjas, and then each ninja has its own like ability that you could then use in each of the other stages.
Each stage had a different color ninja, and each ninja gave you their power, so that you could use their power to complete the next stage. So very like Mega Man style in that regard.
Cool.
Once you knew the pattern of completion, it became significantly easier.
Yeah.
So it's like one would be like shurikens.
I always did shuriken first, because he was like, because it's hard, like until you get the shuriken, it's really hard. And then when you get the shuriken, you're just like chucking it across.
Makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Fun game though. Yeah, that one got a lot of playtime around here, that's for sure. So
they did do a Ninja Gaiden game on the Game Gear as well.
They did, yeah.
Not the greatest game, but it's okay, I guess.
Already very difficult game, and then when you like handicap it with like graphics and sound issues and stuff. The screen was also prone to ghosting too.
Yes,
right? So
I forgot about
especially
that.
as the battery started dying off. It got a lot harder to see where you are versus where something moving on the screen is, because it kind of all starts flooding together. And then your parents aren't buying you 6 AA batteries every 4 hours, right? Like you're chopping through batteries pretty dang quick with that unit. So we had a set of rechargeables for ours, but we were told to use the AC adapter
as much as possible. Yeah. The Ninja Gaiden one, I remember there's a level where you're just like climbing up in between two buildings, and it just lasts so long, and it's so easy, and it's just the most pointless like level ever.
It's like playing Donatello in the Ninja Turtles game on the NES. Just
pretty much.
Got him.
Yeah, man. Just I don't know, man. A lot of good memories of the Game Gear. There's kind of one other thing I wanted to kind of show you guys before we like wrap the podcast up. I know it's a bit of a shorter one, but let us know in the comments what your guys' first memories with the Game Gear were. Yeah. What some of your favorite Game Gear memories and games were, and the ones you love the most. But I just wanted to, while I was digging out my Game Gear, I found some like, you know how like manuals and game boxes would come with like posters and shit? So I found a bunch of those, and oh my goodness, are these ridiculous. So this is official Sega Gear.
This is actual Game Gear.
This is literal Game Gear. So you could get, look at this. Remember that style? That was like a thing back then.
Shirt. That Sega shirt with a collar is actually really nice. I like the jersey too.
This one up here?
The Sega Sports jersey.
Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah.
But I like the black, red, and white Sega shirt with the collar. That would be
this
so
one?
Cool.
Yeah, that would be bumping. And then you've got the blue jean button-up shirt, and like all the Sonic t-shirts. I had a friend that had a Sonic t-shirt. I'm pretty sure it was this one right here. I don't know if you can see that.
No kidding.
Where are we here? There, that one right there.
The dude with the tube.
Yeah. Because Attitude was everything in the 90s.
Everything. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then I have like where they've got like all these Genesis games on the poster, showing off all the like upcoming games. These are just so cool to have. They used to
give you awesome stuff with games, right?
Yeah, like, dude. Now you get nothing.
And you get hyped for it. Now you don't even get a manual. It's like scan this QR code for the manual.
Yeah, and it's online. Yeah, online. Foreman for Real. I used to rent that all the time on the Genesis. It's like a boxing game. It's kind of shit.
I was gonna say not a great game.
NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Like,
There
come
you go.
on, dude.
TE.
Yeah, that was
Love
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
And this was like a Nintendo one I found. It's got like Dragon Warrior. It's got Rad Racer on there.
Rad Racer.
And it's just, I don't know, these are so
Yeah.
cool.
See, and you would put that up in your room, right?
Yeah,
like, you would
dude.
just get like all these like cool little things. I like that. I wish they
Yeah.
would do more of that.
Bring
More
that
games
stuff
need
back.
back-ins.
And
Yeah,
then that's the
absolutely.
thing, they like charge way more for games now, and you get fuck all with them, right?
You get nothing. Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
dude,
less.
there was a Fantasy Zone game on the Game Gear as well. It was really good. It's called Fantasy Zone Gear.
Okay. Interesting.
But this one I think is this an NES? No, this is a Master System poster. So it's all like the a shitload
Like
of Master
stills
System games.
from the games.
Yeah, and then on the back is an Afterburner
Oh,
Master
yeah.
System poster.
A ride you'll never forget, dude. Afterburner's so good.
Yeah,
I loved
dude.
Afterburner. That's a lot of fun.
Dude, so good.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny with the Game Gear, dude. If a Pokemon would have never come out, if Pokemon didn't come out for the Game Boy, I would have 100% told you that the Game Gear was astronomically better than the Game Boy was.
Oh yeah.
And that there was no really fun games on the Game Boy that were worth getting the system for. It was Pokemon was like the system seller for me. There was a lot of fun games for the Game Boy, but nothing that I would be like, I like this more than this.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop playing this altogether because of how good this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Game Gear, I found that those games were in fact on the system.
Yeah. But yeah, ton of fucking posters. It's just,
Love
I
it.
thought it was cool to like,
It's super cool. I wish that the game companies, if you're listening, you could definitely get me. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be like posters like where it's something really cool. I hope that it's something really cool. But even just a poster showcasing other games on the system would be really cool to see.
oh yeah. It's kind of weird though, like to think back, because like a lot of these, like that one I showed you that had like Boogerman and Clay Fighters on it.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
a company one, so that was like all the interplay
Like
games. Yeah. I have a Taito one, and it's
Yeah.
like to think of like how many games a company would release in 1 year.
Yeah, that's a good
back
point.
then
Yeah,
is
maybe they
pretty
don't.
crazy.
Maybe they don't do that so much anymore.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It would still be cool. Like you buy like Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D and you get like all the Square Enix games coming out this year. You get like screenshots and
I'd like to
promo
see
stuff. That'd be so cool, man.
I mean, even just to identify, because I mean, a lot of times I don't even know these games exist. 'Cause, like,
Exactly.
I do my best to stay away from like learning about new games because I would rather find out organically.
yeah.
Well,
And then there's like the spoiler factor too,
and
especially
that's
if it's
the thing.
JRPG.
Like, and I was gonna say like going into a lot of those like subreddits or Facebook groups or other things about like Dragon Quest 3, you know, learning about that. And then they're like, oh man, but at the end of Dragon Quest 11, when this happened, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Right. And so I just avoid it all completely now because I
Yeah.
don't want to be spoiled. So that would be really nice to see some kind of like pack in where it's like, here's all the games we've
And then
got coming up.
Then you don't have to worry, about getting spoiled because you don't.
Mhm.
You're not looking online for anything. You're just naturally coming across it organically in real life.
Exactly. Yeah, it would be fantastic.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I don't know, what system are we gonna do next? Would it be
That's
the
a good question.
Game Boy Advance? I'm trying to think.
Well, Game Boy Advance would technically be the next one in line, really. There's a slew of handhelds that came out during this period of time, right? During this era, there is the Atari Lynx. There's
right.
the Turbo Express.
The
There
N-Gauge?
is
No.
the N-Gauge. Comes out later. I mean, there's a lot of systems that are out at this point in time because everybody's trying to take the Game Boy down.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Well, they're
there was-
seeing how much money Nintendo's making from the Game Boy, and they want something.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And the worst part is that like for the longest time, and honestly, even still now, Nintendo is the leader
Yeah.
for handheld systems, right? Like there really isn't competition. There's competition, but it's not on an equal playing field, right?
Yeah.
Like the Game Boy Advance mostly went unrivaled.
Contested,
Sony tried.
The PSP
Sony
did
tried
really
with the
well, but you
PSP
compare
and the
that to the
Vita.
DS, and
That's what I
there's
mean.
no
Like
contest.
every time, it's literally like the amateur boxer going up against the professional
Mike
boxer.
Tyson.
Like
Yeah.
like it's just no contest, right?
Yeah.
And that goes all the way up to where we're at now, right?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
Switch is mostly unrivaled. The only thing that's actually changing at this point is now we've got things like the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And those types of systems where they're aiming more at getting your PC library than they are being like an actual separated handheld system.
So
right?
like when it comes to the Steam Deck, is that like eternally online? Like
no, you connect the Steam Deck to your Steam library,
right?
And you can install games directly to it.
Okay.
Or you can mirrorcast them from your computer. So if you mirrorcast them from your computer, you don't need the processing power on your Steam Deck, and you can actually run higher powered games.
Right, but my whole question and reasoning behind the question is like with the PSP, with the 3DS, with the Switch, I can be on a bus somewhere.
Oh yeah,
or
no,
camping.
you can take the Steam Deck anywhere.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
and
no,
you
it
would
works
still play your
perfectly fine
games.
on its own. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you would install the games locally to the Steam Deck. And there's games that are like certified functioning for Steam Deck. Those would be the ones that you would be installing locally like that.
Okay.
Games that don't have that certification, you can still play with the Steam Deck, but you do it the same way that Sony does.
Right, with the glass.
Yeah, whatever that one's
glass
called.
or whatever.
Is it called Backbone or what's it called?
No, I think it's glass.
Glass? No, that's not what it's called. The
Portal.
PS Portal. That's what it is.
What was glass? Wasn't that like one of Microsoft's weird things that they tried? I think that was like an Xbox one they tried to do.
Yeah, so the PlayStation
or maybe
Portal,
Google Glass. Maybe I'm thinking of that.
All it is it's just connects to your PlayStation 5 and it just runs the game from the PS5, but in your handheld, which is a cool idea. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
if
that's a
then
bad
you can
idea.
play your games in bed or whatever.
But what I'm saying is that's not the same thing as
exactly.
Right? And so that's why I'm saying like Nintendo is the leader when it comes to handheld. So I would say we're probably at the Game Boy Advance. There's something to be said about these other systems, but they were like the Atari Lynx. Like
nobody owned an Atari Lynx.
People owned them. They sold 2 million units.
Really?
But
dude,
yeah, that's something we could chat about. That's for sure. Yeah, not super.
I kind of want to get. I wonder if there's an emulator for the Atari Lynx.
There has to be.
I want to check out some of those games before our next episode, and then we'll talk about the Lynx and the Game Boy Advance. Maybe
it says that the best-selling game is a game called Road Blasters, which is a arcade port.
Okay.
Wasn't
there like
a race game?
Yeah, I want to say there was like a Road Rage game on there.
Probably
Road Rash is the word I'm looking for. I want to say there was like a Road Rash port. Those games were the best on the Genesis too, like Road Rash 2.
I loved the Road Rash games.
Yeah.
I would just roll around with the chain.
Yeah,
right?
dude. Or that was and then dynamite. Like they had some good ones, like the PS1 and the N64 had really good Road Rash games too. I remember.
Yeah, but yeah, no, you've got I'm just pulled up a list here. So you got the Atari Lynx, you get the Game Boy, Atari Lynx, Game Gear, Turbo Express. These were like the primary.
Oh, the Turbo Express.
Ones.
That was the Turbo Graphics handheld.
The NEC's Turbo Graphics home.
Yeah,
system.
I forgot about that.
And then we jumped from there to the Nomad and the Game.com.
Oh, that was garbage. You're better off playing
Geo Pocket.
Oh yeah, that's dude. I have that. Why are we not talking? I fucking have a Neo Geo Pocket Color. It's got Sonic Pocket Adventure on there, and it's like a really fucking good game. And you can't play it anywhere else.
You got the Wonder Swan.
That was good too. They had like all the Final Fantasy games on there, and a bunch of Digimon games.
So I mean, we could do the next one where we kind of culminate
the miscellaneous ones. Yeah, let's do that.
And then you jump. See that, but this is what I mean, right? So, frame of reference, okay? The Wonder Swan, 1999, sells 3.5 million units.
Holy shit!
Respectable. The Game Boy Advance comes out in 2001, sells 81.5 million. You know what I mean? It's they're not even on the same planet. At this point.
But still,
like,
I mean, that's impressive considering.
Super respectable.
Did the Wonder Swan even release in North America? I don't think it did.
That's a great question.
But I remember emulating it. We'll find out and tell you next episode. But I remember, playing a bunch of Wonder Swan games, emulating them back in the day, because a lot of the I think it's the Wonder Swan. Like there's like Digimon,
was
Cathode,
it was a Bandai console,
and
so
that's sense. Why. Okay, and they were kind of we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Yeah, lots to talk about. And we'll do the Wonder Swan, the Neo Geo Pocket, the Game.com. We'll throw the Nomad in there.
The Game.com.
And then
I wanna find an emulator for the
Turbo
Atari
Express,
Lynx
cool.
and see what that's like.
Let's do
see
it.
if there's any good games there. But thanks for listening or watching. If you're listening on Spotify and you want to watch the video version, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dukey03. If you want to listen to this in your car and not crash and die.
Yeah, don't crash and die.
Then listen to it on Spotify. Like 95% safer.
Yeah, we love you for listening to the podcast. Please don't crash and die.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
But you can find us live on Twitch as well as YouTube. On Twitch, I'm at twitch.tv/Dukey03.
You can find me at twitch.tv/DGonline. Says right up here.
Exactly. And what's your is it Dad Gaming Online?
YouTube is if you can youtube.com/@dadgamingonline. You got to use the little @ symbol in order to find me.
Okay.
But about to crack 200 subscribers, dude.
Excellent.
I am one away.
On fire.
We're on our way to growth. So I stream both on Twitch and YouTube as you do as well, so you can find us at either one of those.
He's got another podcast with our good friend Finney. They talk about board games.
Yep.
Tell him a bit about that.
We mostly talk about tabletop RPG games. So, various forms, your standard Dungeons and Dragons and all of those style of games. Lots of really cool stuff. We release those episodes every 2 weeks. You can find that by searching Masters of Pen and Paper on anywhere that podcasts
happen. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and or listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments on the video, and we will see you
join the Discord
next time. Join the Discord. The link is in the description.
Come and chat with us. Bye. We'll see you. Bye.